on a rug, biding my time, drinking her wine. We talked until 2, and then she said, it's time for bed. In the morning and started to laugh. I told her I did it and crawled off to sleep in the bath. And when I woke, I was alone. This bird is blown. So I lit the fire. Isn't it good? Norwegian wood. Hello and welcome to GoodVibesGuitar.com. I'm Brian Walker, and today I'm super excited to teach you this lesson. This is going to be Norwegian Wood by the Beatles in dropped D, and you also need a capo at the 2nd fret. So you could play this without a capo, but you're going to have a harder time singing it, and the original recording was with a capo at the 2nd fret. So before we even get started, please go to goodvibesguitar.com/wood, and you can get this beautiful tab with chord sheets for all of video 1. We're going to go through 4 exercises in video 1, and with those 4 exercises you'll need all you know to play the whole song of Norwegian Wood. And also at that URL I'm also going to have all the words and lyrics with the chords above it. So go there, get that free tab. It's beautiful. It's just for you. Has your name on it. And what you want to do first is go into dropped D. So, first take your capo off. Make sure you drop your E string down to a D. So, the 6th string and the 4th string sound an octave apart. And you can also play a harmonic at the 6th string, which right above the 12th fret with your finger. Just barely touch it, plow through it with your pick, slowly take your finger off. That'll give you a... If that's tuned to D, it will sound the same as the open D. So hopefully you know how to do that already. And then get a capo. This is a Kaiser capo. It's spring-loaded, Kaiser with a K. And you can rest it there on the headstock when you're not using it. So that's kind of handy about these. And then, make sure you get the right capo for your guitar and get it right in the right spot on the 2nd fret. And now in drop D, instead of playing this little 4-string D, or even a D-A with 5 strings, D/A, you can play a nice full 6-string D for this song. And that way you don't have to worry as much about what you're strumming, and it just sounds richer. And actually, exercise 1, notice in the tab that it's all X's. That means that we're doing percussive scratches. Now this might be the most important exercise. What you do is lay your fingers flat against the all your strings. 4 fingers spread out just gently on the strings. You're not squeezing. Then you get a completely percussive sound, like that. And so the rhythm to this is going to be in 3/4 time. That's the time signature. So 3/4 time means that you're playing 3 beats or counts per measure, and the 4 means the quarter note gets the beat. So we're going to be counting for this song. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And each time you say the 1, accent it, make it a little louder. Same thing when you strum. But instead of just going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, we're going to go 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and... And so that's the main strum, and you want to, have your pick, at a 90-degree angle to your thumb, like that, on the shelf. And then you don't want it too tight. You want it kind of loose to give way a little bit. You don't want to squeeze it hard because it's going to plow through the strings. You want it to give way and, dance over the strings. And you want your wrist to be kind of loose. Like, imagine you're a dog shaking water off and still holding onto the pick lightly, or you're just like Jello or something. And then you're going to have a little bit of a, loose wrist motion like that, and strum a little bit from the elbow. But when you're doing this, you're really just dancing over the strings, especially on the ups. I'm not trying to get every single string. I'm just dancing over them, trying to create a nice rhythm. So that's better. And this is one of the most important parts. So, that just to get that feeling down. So we're going to hit it from that angle of using the rhythm and getting your hand to feel nice and loose and rhythmic. And then the other angle, we're going to learn the melody line. A melody is when you play one note at a time, one note after the next. So here is the melody to Norwegian Wood in exercise 2. First, we're going to play a note, the 2nd fret of the 3 string, and we're going to hold that for 3 beats. 1, 2, 3. And notice in the tab, when you hold a note for 3 beats, above the tab in the treble clef, can you see that, is a dotted half note. So the half note has a hollow note head, and normally that would take up 2 beats, but the dot right there adds half as much of a note value to whatever note it's put on. So half as much as 2 is 1, so 2 plus 1 is 3. Takes up all 3 beats. So you go dotted half note, 1, 2, 3, and then quarter notes, which have solid note heads and a stem. They take up 1 beat each, and then you go 1, 2, 3. And that's just finger 3. Notice the fingerings in the tab too. I made a beautiful tab there. So finger 3, finger 1, and then open for your next measure of that exercise. And then we're going to take finger 3 again up to the 4th fret of D. And then we're going to do something a little different. Take finger 1 back to the 2nd fret of D and play that note. Lift it up to cut the note off, and also to make sure you don't mute the open G. So you can just lift it up a little bit like that. And then finger 3. So we go 1, 2, 3, back to the 4th fret of D. Then open 1, 2, 3. So far we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to take finger 2 to the 3rd fret of the A string, and you're going to play that note, and then ever so slightly do a small quarter step bend down. And then you kind of lift that finger up, hop your pick down to the open G, and then your 1 finger goes back to the 2nd fret of the A. And that's that measure. 1, 2, 3, and then you play the open A. And now notice when you play that open A, it's actually a tied dotted half note. So you're holding that A for 6 beats, and you count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, then back. 1, 2, 3. And I did a little hammer on at the beginning there, out of habit, but you don't need to do that. That's just getting fancy, and we're going to do that in video 2, which is actually free. And all you have to do, if you're not a supporting member, to watch video 2 is like or share it on some social networks or network, and then you'll get to see it. And if you want, you can also become a supporting member of Good Vibes Guitar, and you get all kinds of great bonuses, and there's a lot, but one of them I want to mention right now is that I made an interactive tab on a system called Sound Slice, where there's a video of me playing all of these exercises with tab that is interactive, so I can put my cursor anywhere and it will play, and I'll play along with it, and you can highlight parts and loop it. You can slow it down, and I'll slow down and speed it up even if you want. So that is amazing, and you should become a supporter. You can name your price. All right, so enough of that sales pitch, but I really believe it'll help you a lot. And now, when you go to exercise 3, now we're really going to get into where the dropped D comes in useful, because now we're going to be strumming the verse. So exercise 3 is called the simple verse strum. So it's nothing fancy. We're going to be playing D with all 6 strings for 5 measures with that nice full drop D sound. And then for 1 measure, we're going to go to C add 9. Now this chord chart is the chord chart is there in the free download. Now lift up to get to C add 9. Keep your 3 finger or ring finger anchored on the 3rd fret of the B. Take your 2 finger to the 3rd fret of the A and make sure it's angled so it mutes the D. Now the other thing that you can do that's really handy is if you can get your thumb up over the top just to touch that low E and mute that as well. So really, if you do those 2 things, it'll sound like this. And that way, if I want, I can strum all 6 strings and it will sound good, because if I don't mute the low E, it doesn't sound as good. Otherwise, you have to be more accurate. But you definitely have to mute the D. So you have to get that angle. Otherwise, you could put that finger on the 2nd fret. That will work too. All right. Now we play 5 measures on D with that strum pattern, one measure on C add 9, and then back to 2 measures on D for a verse chord progression. So it looks like this: 1, 2, 3, and 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I once had a girl, or should I say, she once had me. So that's your easiest way to play this if you're strumming. And that will take us to exercise 4. And all you do for exercise 4, and this is an interesting part of this song, you go to a D minor. So to get to D minor from D major, you can also leave that 3 finger planted. Lift up fingers 1 and 2. You put finger 1 on the 1st fret of the high E, or 1 string, and finger 2 on the 2nd fret of the G. And you can still play all 6 strings when you're in dropped D. And now that we're going to play 4 measures on D minor. Now look at your chord chart, because the next chord is a G. And the way we're playing this G is I'm just going to lift these 2 fingers up like as if I'm playing an E minor, but I'm bringing them up to the 5th fret of the 6 and 5 string. Now really, you wouldn't play the high E. If it was a true G, you'd have to get that 3rd fret. Usually when I play it, if I hit the high E, it's not a big deal. It makes it sound like a G6, it's called, but you can also try to keep your strumming away from the high E. Kind of focus more on the lower strings. Either way is fine. Or you could try to get that, oh, what am I doing? That 3rd fret. So 4 measures on D minor, 4 measures on G, that way. Of course, it's different because we're in dropped D, but it's nice and easy to play. Then you go back to 4 measures on D minor, and this is exercise 4, and then the final 4 measures are 2 measures on E minor 7, which is like an E minor, but in dropped D, you take it up like this. E minor 7 would normally look like that, but you have to get, adjust for the dropped D. So there's your E minor 7, and then I'm going to do an A7, like this. Oh, but no low, cut off that. You can use your thumb. And then you could even, at the last measure, I put my pinky down for a higher voicing. Still an A minor 7, but instead of just the open G, you're also getting the high G. So that's that last chord. So all together it looks like this. 4 measures, 1, 2. Oh, and you might see me play a D minor sometimes like that. It feels comfortable, but let me go back to the normal one, because you're coming from D, you'll just go like that. 1, 2, and 3, and 2. 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, D minor, 2, 3, 4, 7, A7 I mean. So that's the way that one looks. And again, all of that will be in the interactive tab. If you have trouble with that, you can slow it down and play along with that. And so that takes us all the way through all 4 exercises. So I hope you enjoyed this. Remember, you can play with those exercises, you can play the entire song of Norwegian Wood. Now just play the verse exercise number 3 whenever you are playing a verse. When you get to the chorus, play exercise number 4. And exercise number 1 is just kind of a fun thing to practice. Now in video 2, which you can go to now at goodvibesguitar.com/wood, we'll go over how to combine exercises 1 and 2, or 2 and 3. So we're gonna combine those together to play the chords and the melody together at the same time. And then I'll show you another exercise where we'll even embellish that further with some tricks, and then I'll show you kind of a cool ending. So go ahead and go to goodvibesguitar.com/wood right now and finish up this lesson. Let's get this done. And if you can, I would love it if you became a supporting member. You just name your price and you get all kinds of great bonuses, like you can download all the videos to your computer. You get all the PDF tabs that are printable, PDF printable song sheets, and what else? Oh, the interactive tab, that's huge. So just go ahead and check that out, and I hope you become a supporter, and I hope you enjoyed this lesson. See you at video 2, guys. Take care.